Welcome back, guys. Get the brain working there. Okay. If you've been around any amount of time, you guys know I'm a big fan of having physical hard copies of books, information, resources, training manuals, so on and so forth. You can't always rely on being able to access the internet for things. Can't always rely, as much as some of us would like to, on the old Mark I Motto memory device. As you get older, it will start to develop problems every once in a while, shall we say. Having physical hard copies of stuff on hand is very good for not only your own refreshment and re-nourishment of the gray matter, but also you may find that you need to help someone else get spun up. Now, whether you are highly experienced at this stuff or not, I think it's still a good idea regardless. You may one day find yourself in a situation where you need to get somebody educated on something and you yourself specifically don't have the physical time to do it. So it might be easy to hand them a book and say, hey, in your spare time, start reading this. Once you're done with it, we'll go over some things as we can. That'll at least give them something to go off of that they can do on their own. There's a couple of good sources out there for books and manuals. I have referenced others in the past. I still stand by all of them that I've previously referenced. I have mentioned some of this before, but I wanted to bring these to you now. If you're not aware, go check out the Professional Citizen Project. They have got a good line of manuals over there that I think would be valuable to your library. Library being the key word. You should have lots of stuff. The thing I like about getting books like this, whether it's Professional Citizen Project books, the Tactical Wisdom series, any of those, is that while yes, there's tons of military field manuals out there you can get, and they have a lot of great information in there, a lot of times it can be hard for somebody who doesn't have any military experience to A, completely grasp and understand what the manuals are saying due to the way they're written, or not be able to fully separate and pick out the applicable stuff of an actual field manual versus the non-applicable stuff. It can be a pain sometimes to try to do. What I like about these manuals is that they put everything in a simpler, more layman's terms format, and throw out a lot of the fluff and differentiate from a technical military field manual versus, something more appropriate for the armed prepared citizen. Now, I've shown you all this before in the past. This is one of their books. It's the Adverse Conditions and Environments book. I'm still reading through that one. So far, great book. Very simple, down to earth. Before you fault simple and down to earth, you really need to do some self-evaluation there, because no matter how high speed you are, or think you are, a lot of times simple and non-complex wins the day. I personally like simple. That said, I do have these other three manuals from them now. Now, full disclosure, I have not read through these yet. I have not had time to. I have skimmed through them. In just briefly skimming through them, I like what I see. Once I get read all the way through, I will do a follow-up and let you know. It may take me a month or two. I've got a lot going on. I'm in the process of reading and catching up on a couple of different things. I don't have the time to sit down and just read all the way through one in one setting. Family, work, and life in general does not permit that for me right now. So just be patient and know that once I'm through them, I'll get back to you. And if there's anything that stands out as, oh, holy crap, this is horrible, I'll let you know. I feel pretty certain that's not going to be the case. Again, as I've skimmed through, looks like good solid stuff. I thought I had something bookmarked here, and it seems that in me moving the books around, my bookmark fell out. Where was it? So here it was. Got lucky and turned right to it. In this particular one, which is the first one, the individual tactical skills, they go into some good definitions and clarifications of different terms, different things that you'll want to know in a very basic format. But contrary to how the military manual is, it's put into simple understand terms. For example, in the section talking about suppressive fire, a lot of people have some very, very, very wrong conceptions about what suppressive fire is going to look like as an armed prepared citizen versus a military squad or platoon. Spoiler alert, they're very different. I'm just going to read the little caption here for this one. Now there's a whole paragraph on it, but one thing that the author makes note of right here: suppressive fire using only magazine-fed guns is tough. Practicing with your teammates is critical. Very critical. It is not a mad minute of mag dumps. Suppression and gaining fire superiority without belt feds is a game of rapid accuracy and synchronization within the team. There are some very key words in there that people need to pay attention of. You have got to practice these sort of things. If your plan is for all your people, your team, whether it's you and your family, friends, whatever, to simply mag dump at the very site of contact, you're going to run in a lot of problems. I have harped on those before. I'm not going to do it again here. Just trust me, you will. The words in here that are key that I would encourage you to pay attention to is practicing with your teammates is critical. Rapid accuracy and synchronization within the team is critical. Ponder on those words. All right. So just as an example, individual tactics, reconnaissance. I'm really looking forward to delving into this one because, like it or not, this one is probably going to be one of the most important ones that you could read. I have touched on that in the Tactical Wisdom series. You're probably, not definitely, but probably going to be do a lot more reconnaissance related tasks than you are search and destroy or door kicking tasks. Probably going to do a lot more of this. You might want to learn some of it and then practice it. Last but not least, land navigation. Now, land nav is one of those things that you need to know how to do. I could say I don't need to know how to do land nav because we're on a large piece of private property and I know the property like the back of my hand. I could be pretty much anywhere on it and have my bearings of where I'm going. That doesn't mean that I won't one day find myself somewhere else or off of said property and get turned around and need to know how to find my bearings and get directions, how to read a map, how to use a compass, simple things like that. Oh, I know you've got your fancy GPS clipped onto your gear. Well, That's great right up until you don't have it a way to charge it anymore, or it's just not working anymore, or for whatever reason satellites aren't working, or whatever. There's not a whole lot out there that can make a paper map non-functional. There's not a whole lot out there that's going to make a compass non-functional. Few things, but not a lot. Learn land nav. You ain't got to be like a super expert at it. Learn the basics. I got a feeling that's probably going to do just that. So I'll put a link in the description box over to the Professional Citizen Project. Check those out. They got some other cool stuff in the store too. And last but not least, this is one way that I know that the folks over there at TPC and I, we're kindred. We're very kindred. Because when all else fails, always ask yourself, what would Bert do? Marinate on that. Get out there and practice and train, guys. Get educated on the stuff. Read. Then practice and train. Then read. Then do it again. The clock has not stopped ticking. Y'all take care. I'll see you in another one.